Hey everyone, it's Max. Welcome to class. Today is a short, mellow vibes, gentle, slow flow. So we'll be moving nice and slow. We'll stay low to the ground. Nothing that's meant to be too challenging. So this class is perfect for a rest day, or maybe if you want to use this class to wind down before bed, or if you're just looking for a more gentle, slower moving class to get some movement into your day, but without working too hard for it. So join me on the mat, find a nice seated, comfortable position. We'll just be here for a moment to set our intention and do some cleansing breaths to start. So I'm sitting on my knees, but sit any way that's comfortable for you. And if you'd like to, you can go ahead and close down the eyes. And then we'll take 3 cleansing breaths. So exhale everything out, and then inhale, filling all the way up through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Another big inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, sigh it out. Last one, biggest breath yet, inhaling all the way through the nose. Sipping a little extra at the top. Open the mouth, sigh it out. You can seal the lips. Continue breathing in and out through the nose for the rest of our class. Slow, steady breaths. You don't have to force it. Just some slow, gentle breathing, bringing the awareness back to the breath again and again. I'll give you a moment here to set your intention for this class. And then when you're ready, you can gently blink open the eyes and we'll meet in tabletop position on the hands and knees. So bring your palms onto the mat, spreading your fingers nice and wide, stacking your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees, and we'll do some cat-cow to loosen through the spine. Inhaling, arching the back to look up. Exhale to round the spine. Inhale, arching to look up. And exhale to round the spine. Flow through that a couple times on your own. Moving in sync with your breath. And then feel free to find any organic movement that you need here, maybe rolling through the torso or moving your hips in circles. Just a couple moments here, moving in a way that feels good and appropriate for your body at this time. Coming back to our neutral tabletop, engage your core and we'll flow through a few thread the needle. So inhale, left arm comes up, reaching straight up. And as you exhale, threading it underneath the right arm. In a flowing movement, inhale, reaching up with the left arm. And exhale to reach under. Once more, inhale, reaching up. And exhale, thread the needle, setting the shoulder down this time. Option to walk the right hand towards the top of the mat. And I like to shift my hips just slightly to the left in this position. Take a few deep breaths here. On your next inhale, start to reset. Left arm comes straight up. And exhale, left palm finds the mat. Same thing on the other side. Inhale, right arm lifts. Exhale, threading it under. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, thread it through. One more time. Inhale to reach up. And exhale to thread it through, setting the shoulder and the arm down, maybe walking the left hand towards the top of the mat, maybe shifting the hips slightly to the right. Take a few cycles of breath here. Start to reset, and then on your next inhale, right arm comes up. And as you exhale, right palm finds the mat. We'll move into our child's pose, and you can bring the knees together if that feels better for you. I like to bring the knees out wide with my big toes together. Lower the hips down towards the heels, reaching the arms forward, palms flat on the mat. And then again, option to bring your forehead down to the mat. Just feeling the grounding energy here in this position, noticing the floor and your mat supporting you. Couple cycles of breath. On your next inhale, start to come forward and up, releasing from the child's pose. And then coming onto your belly, and we'll find our Sphinx pose. So your elbows, forearms, and palms are down onto the mat. Lifting up through the chest, rolling the shoulders down and back. Breathing into this position. Slow, steady breaths through the nose. We'll keep our left palm on the mat here. Left elbow and forearm stays on the mat. Roll onto your left side. So you're onto your left hip. Right palm can come down, or you can lift the right arm to the hip. Whatever feels good for you here. And we'll get a little bit of a side bend onto this left side. So you should start to feel a little bit of a stretch through the left side of your body. If you're not feeling anything, you want to take it a little bit further. You can always straighten the arm, the left arm, and you can play around with the placement of the left arm, reaching further out. The closer you bring it in, the more stretch you'll feel on this left side. So you can imagine we're just kind of lounging on the couch here, cosmic couch. Keeping that steady breath, feeling the stretch through the side body, and finding that spot with your arm that's most comfortable for you. You're welcome to stay here and keep breathing. If you want to follow me into this next one and bring the right leg into this a little bit, you can bend the right leg, right hand comes out, grab hold of your right big toe, and then you can straighten that right leg. No worries if you can't get it all the way straight. So we're opening out through that right hip, straightening the right leg, breathing here. And then on an exhale, start to gently bend into that right leg, release the right foot. We'll roll back down into our Sphinx pose. Take one breath here. And then as you exhale, start to come onto that right hip, the right elbow and forearm and palm stays down, finding your side bend here. Same option as on the other side. You can always straighten that right arm to increase the intensity of the stretch a little bit if that feels good for you. Because this is a mellow class, don't feel bad about taking the more mellow option in any of these variations. So just do what's right for your body, for your mind. So again, you can stay here, or you can bend the left leg, left hand grabs hold of your left big toe. Then you can open through the left hip as you straighten your left leg. No worries if you're not totally straight. Continue to breathe through the nose. And then when you're ready, start to gently bend through the left leg, releasing the left foot, coming back into our Sphinx pose for one more breath. And then as you exhale, we'll push up onto the knees, curl the toes underneath, and then come into your down dog. So you can walk the dog by bending one leg as you straighten the other, feeling through the hamstrings, going back and forth a few times. And then let's find a moment of stillness in our down dog for one cycle of breath. And on your next exhale, gently stepping the right foot forward in between the hands, setting the left knee down onto the mat. Inhale to lift the arms up, finding your low lunge. See if you can pull your right hip back and your left hip forward. Breathing here, releasing the shoulders down away from the ears. Inhaling. And as you exhale, twist open to the right. So the right arm is reaching back, left arm reaching forward. Inhale back to your low lunge. And as you exhale, palms come down, framing your right foot. Inhale to lift the right leg, finding your three-legged dog. Option to bend the knee and stack the hips, opening through the hips here. And then as you exhale, right foot meets the left. Inhale. And as you exhale, left foot steps forward in between the hands, gently setting that right knee down. On an inhale, coming up into your low lunge. Breathing here, refocusing. And on your next exhale, twisting to the left. Left arm reaching back, right arm reaching forward. Lengthen the spine, lifting the head, lifting the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. On an inhale, arms come back, reaching for low lunge. And exhale, palms come down, framing the left foot. On an inhale, left leg lifts for your three-legged dog, maybe bending the knee, stacking the hips. And then as you exhale, left foot meets the right, back into our down dog. On an exhale, right foot steps to the top of the mat. This time step to the outside of the right hand, so your both palms are down inside the right foot. Bring the left palm to the center of the mat. On an inhale, right arm sweeps up. And we're in our dragonfly twist. I've got my left knee lifted here. You can choose to set the knee down or keep the knee lifted. Breathing here. And then as you exhale, right hand comes to right knee. If you haven't already, go ahead and set the left knee down. Let's push through the right knee to open up that right knee, lifting the chest, maybe twisting a little bit to gaze over the right shoulder. And then start to gently release, bringing the knee back over the ankle. Right leg comes back. And push back into your down dog. On your next exhale, left foot steps to the outside of the left hand for your lizard lunge. And then bringing the right palm to the center of the mat. Inhale to lift the left arm for your dragonfly twist. And then as you exhale, left palm can find the left knee, gently setting the right knee down onto the mat. Maybe using your left hand to push open the left knee, lifting the chest, maybe twisting a little bit to gaze over the left shoulder as you continue to breathe those slow, steady breaths with ease in and out through the nose. Gently release. Left palm comes back down, left leg steps back. We'll find our down dog once more. On your next exhale, right foot steps forward in between the hands. Set the left knee down. Once you set the left knee down, pivot on the left knee so your left foot comes out to the side, and then come up. So we're in this kneeling position. So your right knee is over your right ankle, and your left foot is pivoted out to the side. Bring the right arm inside the right knee, so the back of your right forearm or elbow is inside that right knee. And on an inhale, left arm lifts, reaching up. So you're using your right arm to press into that right knee and open through the right hip. At the same time, you're reaching up with the left arm and then twisting open, so maybe even reaching back a little bit. Breathing here. And then let's see if we can just sink into that right hip just a little bit. And let's rock back and forth. So inhale, coming up a little bit with the hips. And exhale, sinking into the hips a little bit. Inhale to come up. Exhale to sink down. You can release the left arm if that's too much. If you want a little more mellow vibe, you can always bring your left arm behind you, finding a bind. Or just have the left arm on your side. Pushing back up through the hips. Pivot back on the left knee so the left toes are behind you. And we'll push back into our down dog. From here, left foot steps forward. In between the hands, set the right knee down. Pivot on that right knee so the right foot comes out to the side. Coming up, lifting through the chest. Left arm comes inside the left knee, pushing that knee open. And then as you inhale, right arm reaches up. And maybe finding a little bit of a twist, reaching back. So again, your left arm's pushing into the knee to open through the left hip. Your right arm is reaching up and twisting back. You may feel some of that stretch in your right side body. Refocus your mind on the breath. Then on your next exhale, start to sink your hips a little bit lower towards that front leg. Inhale to just gently lift the hips back up. Exhale to sink a little lower. Inhale, coming back up. Exhale, sinking the hips. And again, option to take a bind with the right arm, a half bind. or you can just have the right arm by your side, or you can keep it up, whatever feels best for you here. But we're sinking low into the hips, so you should feel a little bit of a sensation in your hips in this position. Or I shouldn't say you should feel that, because everyone's different, so you may feel this somewhere else, or you may not feel it at all, depending on the openness of your hips. But for me, I immediately feel this in my hips. Inhale to come back up. And then exhale, pivoting back on that knee. This time, step your left foot to the left edge of the mat. And then your right foot steps to the right edge of the mat. We'll find our malasana, our yoga squat. So you can bring your elbows inside your knees if that feels good, bringing the palms together at heart center. And because everyone's hips are different, your malasana, your yoga squat may look a little bit different than mine. If this is too intense for your mellow vibe today, you can always elevate the heels. You can always lift the hips a little bit so you don't have to come quite as deep. Just find whatever version of the squat works for you. Maybe swing side to side. Wherever you're at though, let's see if we can lift the spine and lengthen the back of the neck. So lifting the crown of the head towards the ceiling as we breathe. And you can find stillness or sway. On your next exhale, let's release the arms, palms come behind you, and we'll come down onto the butt. Let's find a wide-legged position here. So open the legs nice and wide. Inhale to sit up nice and tall. And then exhale, you can walk the hands out in between the legs, folding forward. On each inhale, see if you can lengthen. And with each exhale, maybe you can fold a little bit more. Doesn't matter how far down you come. Some people may be able to get their chest to the floor. And others, like me, are maybe a little bit more upright. Doesn't really matter. It's not a performance. It's all about how this feels in your body. So if you feel some sensation, as long as it's not pain, then you're good to go. You can always drop the head so your chin comes down to your chest. Try to keep those slow, steady breaths. Start to walk the hands back in towards the hips, lifting through the torso, and then we'll bring the legs together. And we'll find our forward fold with the legs together. First, let's inhale, finding length through the spine, lifting the chest, maybe arms come up. And then as you exhale, you can fold forward, grabbing hold of the toes or the feet, the ankles, the shins, whatever is fine. Again, with each inhale, you're lengthening, and with each exhale, folding. We'll be here for a few cycles of breath, so just try to relax here. Again, option to let the head lower down, the chin towards the chest if that feels good. As you round a little bit and lower the head, you're actually stretching all the way from the heels up the back side of the body into the neck. Gently start to release. Sitting back up. Let's bring the palms behind us. So with the fingers pointing forward towards the toes, towards the feet. Palms are flat on the mat, and we'll find a little bit of a counter pose. So we'll go into reverse tabletop. So bend the knees, placing the soles of the feet flat onto the mat. Inhale to lift the hips nice and high, squeezing through the glutes. You may feel a shoulder stretch in the front of your shoulders. And as you engage and squeeze through the glutes, getting a little bit of activation through the back of the body, just counteracting those forward folds that we just did. Make sure your knees aren't falling out too far away from each other, so just energetically pull the knees together. And then as you exhale, lowering the hips gently down to the floor. Take the left leg long. Right foot crosses over top of the left leg. Again, sit up nice and tall. Inhale, left arm lifts. And exhale to twist to the right. You can hug that right knee with your left arm, or you can hook the elbow on the outside of the knee. Whatever feels better for you. On your inhale, lengthening the spine. And on your exhale, twisting a little bit more to the right. Maybe gazing over the right shoulder if that feels good. Inhale to come back to center. Right leg goes long, crossing the left foot over. Inhale to find length, reaching the right arm up, and then exhale, finding your twist to the left. As you inhale, you're lengthening the spine, and as you exhale, you're twisting, maybe gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale to release, coming back to center. And then we'll slowly make our way onto our back. Feet flat on the mat with the knees bent. Let's cross the right ankle over top the left knee. And we'll set up for our reclining pigeon pose or figure 4. So reaching through the legs, grabbing hold of the left knee or the left hamstring, flexing the toes on the right foot. Lowering the head and shoulders down towards the mat. And gently pulling your right ankle and shin in towards your chest. Continue to breathe. And on your next exhale, slowly starting to release out of this position. And we'll switch sides. So left ankle crosses over the right knee, reaching through to grab hold of wherever you have access to on the right knee or the right leg. Flexing the toes of the left foot as you lower the head and shoulders down towards the mat. Gently pulling your left shin and ankle down towards your chest. Slowly, gently release out of that pose. And then this is your last option. So find any last missing posture that's going to complete this practice for you. So whatever your body needs. Maybe a happy baby. Maybe another hip stretch. Or maybe a reclined butterfly. We'll take just a moment for you to take whatever posture feels best to you. You can also just head straight to Shavasana. And then gently release out of whatever position that you're in. Let's bring the knees into the chest, grabbing hold, giving yourself a big hug, a big squeeze. Let's inhale through the nose to fill all the way up. Hold at the top for just a moment. And then as you slowly exhale, release down into your Shavasana, your resting posture, taking up space. Big toes can fall away from each other. Release and control over your breath. Letting yourself melt into the floor. So this was a short class. We got a little bit of movement in. We worked through our hips, twisted through our spine, got a little bit of stretching in. I hope this practice has left you feeling nourished and relaxed. I invite you to stay in your Shavasana for as long as you'd like to, and I'd recommend 5 minutes to just fully release and relax, melt into the floor, and soak up the benefits of the practice. I'm going to go ahead and close class now, so I'll leave you here. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, friends. If you liked the class, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you liked. It really helps me out and helps the channel out. May we open to awareness for the benefit of all beings. Thank you, friends.